Hi Gemini, and welcome to this reading for April 2025. This reading can also be helpful and interesting for you at any other time when you find this, but I'm recording this in March 2025 actually. So yeah, let's see what's up for you, what we want to talk about. This is a general energy in the beginning of the reading. Second part of the reading, we will look into a relationship dynamic. So yeah, let's see what's up. Oh, moon card, mysterious. The moon card, yeah, moon card is an intense card because we might feel like we really don't know what's coming. We might feel a little anxious, a little unsure how we proceed. And that could bring up some fearfulness. Doesn't have to. It can also be seen as a brave quest, and I like that type of energy, of course, a little more. We are here in our little bit of a subconscious realm, so we are figuring out why things are happening the way they are happening and why we have to go through path that feels quite unknown, and we're working ourselves through a period of time that is, and it's not even so much about time, it's really more a layer of consciousness. I feel like this is where time really becomes kind of obsolete, when we work ourselves through a layer of consciousness that is somewhat unknown and dark, you know, and dark not in a sense of not necessarily scary, just we don't have the answers and we kind of have to feel ourselves through, and it's very much an intuitive time where we cannot really rely on our logic. We only can rely on a deeper reptilian brain type of logic. With other tarot decks, we do have a crab here, or a lobster type of animal, and that represents really our reptilian brain, our old brain, our instincts. So we are really moving more. It's interesting because often this card is talking so much about our intuition, but I think it's really more about our instincts, because the instincts are much more the animal type direction that we are taking. But of course also intuition is like tapping into the senses that really help us navigate through situations where we don't have direction. And yeah, and it's also in reality, this card is really about keeping us out of danger, but it is happening through processes that we cannot really control so much. It feels like even a little bit that we are controlled, but at the same time we have to learn also to trust that we are safe in a moment of not knowing. And that is challenging, of course. You could be dealing with a Pisces. You could just be also in a creative phase where you're really soul searching and going deeper, and you might really be able to be pulling from deeper layers of the self that you haven't explored yet. You could be doing some shadow work, like very consciously. It's also a good time where we maybe work on some shadows, maybe with a therapist, maybe by yourself, you know, maybe through some creativity, to really unfold new layers of consciousness. Oh, beautiful. The Empress, it could be a very creative time for you, and it could be a very tapped in beautiful time for you, and you could see also this path of not knowing, of the unknown, as a beautiful challenge, I want to say. The Empress is not necessarily afraid of a moon card because it very much represents the cycles of nature as well, and she does as well. So of course it is about the moon very much is about change, and is about getting fuller and getting dark and appearing and disappearing. So this is, it is the moon has to do with time, but it does not have to do with like a very mathematical sort of time. It's the time, it's nature's timing. The moon is nature's timing. So this is a lot about nature's timing. Very, very interesting. We do have eclipse season going on still. So we do have also the sun going into your sign on May 20th, of course, which is not so far away. And then we have a new moon in Gemini on the 26th. And I'm looking at that here on my screen, and it's not that I see the whole year and every month, but I see May, and it's interesting that this is coming up because this is not a May reading. So it could be having to do with you building up to your moon cycle and to your new moon, because we do have a lot of new moon symbolism here in these cards. I think it is an understanding with the Empress here, who also stands for Venus, that we can create something beautiful out of this notion that there is the unknown. I mean, the unknown is ultimate potential. The unknown is ultimate potential for creation. The dark is ultimate potential for something to grow out of, something to be discovered. In this particular Crowley symbolism, the Empress is the feminine energy, of course, and is correlating with the goddess Nuit, which is the ultimate darkness of the universe that is all embracing, and out of it new things can evolve. And things can be received. It's like the idea of a black hole in a sense. So, and the moon represents that a little bit as well. Of course, the moon also in most cultures represents the feminine. In German, it's a male energy, which is interesting. And the sun is the feminine. Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is, and the beautiful Ace of Cups. The Eight of Cups is an energy where we really are, this could be quite, it could be exhausting to have to go and dig deep, and it is often when we do the deeper work, when we go places we haven't been, especially in our consciousness and the spiritual work, it can be quite tiring. And I think this could be a little bit of a challenge this month, that we're not getting stuck in this density of emotions. I want to say it's very dense. There's a lot going on, and that can kind of keep us stuck in a muddy place, which is this Eight of Cups really representing. That's pretty much what this Eight of Cups is saying. It's like Crowley says sometimes it's like like getting up after a hangover. It's like, you know, you had, because the Seven of Cups is the card before that, and it's called debauch. I hope I pronounced that right. Debauch. I never know how to pronounce it. I am not a native English speaker, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, it's a card of emotional overwhelm that is like a little bit of a hangover energy, you know. So going so deep and experiencing on deeper consciousness levels that we haven't been at before can give us a hangover. But at the same time, we have the Ace of Cups here, the Four of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions going on this month for Gemini. It's a very emotional time, and it is maybe quite a lot, but it also brings, I think, a serious heart opening and a serious breaking through of heart energy. So you could feel your heart space more, you could feel more love in general and find more love in general. Again, maybe that's also a quest to find more love in general for yourself, for your surroundings, a new way of experiencing things emotionally, meeting your circumstances, your whole life with more of a heart energy, more of a loving energy, more of a gentle, more of a soft energy. And finding a new opening there, like a new lighter sense of experiencing this love. A lighter love is the Ace of Cups. We want to be careful because the Four of Cups is right underneath it. Do not fall back again into an emotional over satiety. But yeah, wow, okay. Well, Gemini, if you're working with music, this could be a great time to make some music. If you're a poet, this could also be, well, poet is maybe, poet, yes. If you're a healer, also great time, but exhausting. You're doing very deep work. If you're an artist, it could be very ethereal. If you're an abstract artist, this could be a great time for you to find something new. This could be actually a really great time for you to find something new, to birth something new. A new way maybe of just a completely new cycle, start a new cycle. Abstract painters, I see. Okay. Relationships, wow, I am excited about the relationship part of this reading. This other person, it doesn't have to be romantic, as you know. Ten of Cups in the reverse. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna wait and see what else is coming up. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Well, okay, Gemini. I'm just saying this because I just know a bunch of Geminis. There might be, in your surroundings, there might be a consensus that you might maybe be a little too self-critical and critical in general, because when we, you know, when we project our criticism onto other things, other people, we are the worst towards ourselves. That's number one. Number two, some people might have a hard time really having this fulfilling and light connection with you or one particular person because of that attitude. And it's not that it's not rooted in reality in a way, you know. It's like a critical thinker, a critical doer, a critical producer, a critical somebody who is able to self-reflect and see mistakes and work with them and see them as something beneficial to develop and to get better at something. Of course, it's a good thing, but if you, there is also a way of criticism and self-criticism that is not productive at all, and that's the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. It's just like it could be quite damaging to yourself or other people, and we don't want that, Gemini. Don't you know, I'm just looking at my favorite pop culture Geminis, and yes, Donald Trump is one of them, and I say pop culture because what else is that? I mean, it's definitely not politics, but it's fun, you know, it's very entertaining. So Kanye West and so on. So those people have a sometimes quite destructive way of naming things, and we don't want, you know, to do that. And I don't want to get political on this channel, but it's just, how can you ignore what's going on? Well, man, this is such a Gemini thing that's happening. I'm just saying, you know, don't hurt yourselves, you guys, by being mean to people. Just as simple as that. With the Queen of Swords in the reverse, there is communication that is not in check, and you can be quite brutal, and it's both people. It's not just this is what's mirroring, this is what's happening. If you're dealing with people right now, they might be, and it's closer people, it could be family, I think it's family probably. They know the tricks, and you got it somewhere, you know. It's like, this is we could call it like, oh, nasty people. We don't want to get nasty, because the other people, you know, that's the problem with Gemini sometimes in general. Gemini energy is very smart, and sometimes they underestimate, and then that's what happens often to smart people, you know. They underestimate because they've always been the smart people. So sometimes you just cross somebody that knows the tricks and knows the same thing, and then what happens is we all get hurt, you know. It's like the Three of Swords is not, they know, we need to be careful who we, you know, F around and find out. When you F around with certain people, then you gotta find out, and this is what I see here. I'm not sure who is effing around. I'm not saying, Gemini, you are the bad guy here, but just know that we do have a situation where effing around could be quite hurtful to you. Three of Swords. And therefore it's even more important, I think, to meet yourself with more and more compassion and love. It could be that you didn't see something coming as well when it comes to relationships, which is of course also possibility. Wow, okay. Well, I'm gonna write this down for Gemini, because this is crazy, as always. Okay, one more card, just to make sure we can end this on a more peaceful note or calming note. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it is probably right now a challenge to work with people, and maybe you don't have to. Maybe it's also a time sometimes when we have a Three of Pentacles in the reverse that we're like, okay, this is not the time to try to figure it out or try to do the teamwork or try to take responsibility. Just let's focus on our own healing, our own self-love, our own compassion, our own emotional journey, because that seems to be an intense one right now. And that's why we might also even be a little thin-skinned towards the outside when we are going through some emotional stuff for ourselves. So I'm just checking this book, what it says with the Three of Diamonds. Oh, craftsmanship, successful collaboration, admiration. So yeah, I think this is something, because the card is in the reverse, that we want to do with ourselves, not so much with the outside, but with ourselves, like craftsmanship, learning new skills, really maybe working on something. As I said, if you're a creative person, painting, great, music, great right now. So yeah, try that, and also subscribe to my channel, leave me a like and a comment, and come back next time, and then we look at what's going on for you in the near future.